everyone, what's up and welcome to the Joe Knows All podcast. I haven't made an episode for this series in quite a while, in over 2 months. It's been a while. So we're back. I'm back here bringing you this series. I love this series a lot, and bring it back. Why not? You know, you guys, a few of you seem to really enjoy it. So judging by a few of the comments that I've seen in my comment section. So yeah, it's back and it's here to stay. It will be usually posted on Saturdays. That's the usual routine for the Joe Knows All podcast. But since I'm bringing it back, I wanted to do an episode today. And then I'm going to be bringing you guys another episode on Saturday. So this week, we're going to get 2 episodes of the Joe Knows All podcast. So today and Saturday. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're new to the channel and you're new to the podcast, usually ranges from 20 minutes to 25 minutes, at most 30 minutes if I have a guest. I want to be different. I don't want to keep you guys here longer than you guys have to be here. But it is a podcast, so it should be at least 25 minutes long. But like I said, I don't want to drag it out to an hour and a half. I think that's incredibly long and something that I try and stay away from. So guys, let's get started here, and let's start talking about Elder Scrolls 6 and Starfield. A lot of people really aren't talking much about it. Just my buddies, Skullsy and Just Dom. If you guys haven't checked them out, please check them out. They're right on the front page of my channel, as well as King Fanman. So, my Bethesda brothers. But anyway, not a lot of people are talking about it, and there's been some news in regards to Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, and when we could possibly be expecting those 2 games. Now, obviously, as you guys know, you're a big Bethesda fan, Bethesda Game Studios fan especially. You guys know that they are making Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 in that order. You saw the 2 reveal trailers, 2 small trailers at E3 this past year. So we know that they exist, and Pete Hines has said it before and he has said it again, that they want to make sure that the community knows that they're still about the single player game, even though they're making Fallout 76, which is obviously completely different from what they usually do. So them revealing to us Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 is just reassuring their fan base that they're still going to stick to the single player experience, that they're not going to shy away from that. And in my opinion, I really do feel that was incredibly important for them to do that, because a lot of the reactions for Fallout 76 being a multiplayer game at E3 was not that great. So what saved the show was Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. That saved them. If it wasn't for Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6, it would have been a lackluster E3 with just showing Fallout 76, showing Elder Scrolls Blades, and then obviously you have Doom Eternal, Rage 2, and Wolfenstein. You have those games, but when it comes to BGS and Bethesda as a whole, their moneymakers is BGS. So Elder Scrolls Blades, you have, like I said, with 76. If they just showed that right there and not Starfield, not Elder Scrolls 6, they would have gotten a lot of heat for it, and rightfully so, because you're talking about a mobile game that we haven't even seen yet, that's supposed to be released in the fall of this year. Well, it's the fall now, we still haven't seen it. Maybe a December release, because I don't see it coming out around Fallout 76. I just don't. And that's November 14th, and you also have the beta next week. October 23rd, it starts for the Xbox One, as well as all the stress testing that's going on. So Elder Scrolls Blades probably won't be out till December. So maybe right before the winter time. So it's still fall, but right before the winter time. And then you have an online game in Fallout 76. So Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6 saved the show. Now, a lot of people are wondering, when are we going to see Starfield? When we're going to see Elder Scrolls 6? When are we going to hear more about this game? Well, there's an article, Eurogamer.net, had an interview with Pete Hines, and Pete Hines, they asked him specifically about when are we going to hear more about Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6. Pete Hines said, in a while, you know, it won't be around the corner. But he did say this though. He said time frame wise, it will most likely be about as long as you would expect it to be. For example, Fallout 3 to Skyrim, 3 years. Skyrim to Fallout 4, now that's 4 years. Fallout 4 to Fallout 76, that's 3. So Starfield could be coming out in 2021, which I think it will be. I honestly thought it was going to come out on the PlayStation 5 or the Xbox, whatever, but probably not. It probably won't be a launch title unless it comes out in 2020, and that's when the next-gen consoles are released. But I was thinking Starfield would have been a launch title, but obviously, well, not obviously, but probably not, judging from what Pete Hines has said and judging by this cycle. However, Skyrim to Fallout 4 was a 4-year gap, 2011 to 2015. So the projected release date for Starfield is 2021 to 2023. In between there, we could be possibly getting Starfield if Bethesda still goes by this pattern. Now, it could come out sooner, but I highly doubt it because, honestly, even though it's nothing that we want, they have Fallout 76 right now. So that's what they're going to take care of. That's what they're going to build off of. So that's their main focus. So I don't think we should be expecting Starfield any sooner than 2021. However, initially, I thought that would have been the case. But judging from what Pete Hines has said, no, it won't be. But then you ask Elder Scrolls 6. When will Elder Scrolls 6 be released? There's been a lot of speculation about Elder Scrolls 6. And if you look at this timeline, Fallout 3 to Skyrim, 3 years, okay? Then Fallout 4 to 76, that's 3 years. But in between that, Skyrim to Fallout 4, which is 4 years. And that's where you are in that timeline. 3, 4, 3. So, could we expect Starfield in 4 years? And then, which would mean, what, 2022? And then Elder Scrolls 6, 3 years after Starfield, so 2025? The latest? That's a really long time for an Elder Scrolls 6 title, but that's what it seems like it's gonna be. 2025, a potential release date for Elder Scrolls 6. That's a really long time. Judging if we get Starfield 4 years from now. That's 2022. So 2025 could be the year where we get Elder Scrolls 6. And that is 14 years. 14 years after the release of Skyrim. Now, they have remade Skyrim time and time again. And it sells. Rightfully so. So Bethesda is obviously going to keep making something or releasing something if it keeps on selling. Maybe Elder Scrolls Blades is supposed to hold you over before Elder Scrolls 6. Could be. But 14 years after the initial release, that's a really long time that huge Elder Scrolls fans have to wait for Elder Scrolls 6. It's a really long time. 11 years after their big MMO. 11 years. So then let's look at this. Fallout 76 is out. I know BGS did not have anything to do with Elder Scrolls Online. I realize that, but Fallout 76 is out. It is an online title. Judging if we get Elder Scrolls 6 in 2025, 11 years after Elder Scrolls Online, does that mean we're not going to get Fallout 5 for another 10 to 11, 12 years? That's a huge gap. Then in the middle of that, Starfield. Maybe you get Starfield 2 in the middle of that. Told you over. Now, I'm already talking about Starfield 2, and we haven't even seen a lick of the first Starfield game. But we might not be seeing as much Fallout and Elder Scrolls as we want to because of Starfield. Now, I'm not against Starfield. I can't wait for it. It's a brand new IP. It's supposed to be something huge and be different from what anybody else has ever done in gaming. But now we're talking that it's going to take over Elder Scrolls and Fallout when it comes to them releasing those titles. And you know what? That's perfectly fine. Let BGS, let Todd Howard, let his people work on a new IP. They've been wanting to do this for years. But like I said, it will take away from Elder Scrolls and Fallout in terms of releases, in terms of the amount of titles that we will be able to play. I really hope I'm wrong. I really do. But the turnaround with these games is 3 to 4 years with BGS. So 2021, 2022. I know initially I said the 2021 to 2023, but that's wrong. 2021 to 2022, Starfield, and then 2025, 2024, Elder Scrolls 6. That's a really long time. A really long time. Heck, I'll be a lot older. A lot. I'm not an old man, but by then I'll be pushing 40. Come on, Bethesda. I mean, I can't really blame it on you. It is what it is. These games are huge. They take a long time to make. So I don't know why I just said come on, but it just stinks knowing that we have to wait so long. But like, you know, it is what it is. If that's what makes their games great, then so be it. But Elder Scrolls 6 coming out 2024, 2025. So much longer after Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim. That's a little crazy to me. To me, that's a little crazy. I don't know about you guys, but to me, it's a little nuts. Now, let's transition this. Let's talk about something a bit different here. I'm excited for the brand new Fallout game, by the way. I got the Power Armor Edition. They released, I think, I don't know if it was a third wave, and I was able to get my hands on one. So I'm really happy about that for the Xbox One. I'm getting the PC version for the game as well. So I'm really excited about that. But now let's switch over to talk about classic consoles. How do you guys feel about classic consoles? Please leave a comment down below. I would love to know what you guys think about it, and we could possibly start a conversation if you guys are interested, as well as everything else I've talked about in this video. Let's talk about the Nintendo 64 Mini. There was a potential leak, and in my opinion, I really do feel PlayStation, they should be very, very afraid of that. You could buy a pre-owned Nintendo 64 on GameStop online for $80, for $79.99, and people buy it. It's arguably the best console of all time. Arguably. I think the PlayStation 2 gives it a run for its money. Fantastic console. But Nintendo 64 being released again with a classic version, with a mini version, is huge. And if they can counteract Sony's release of the PlayStation 1, the PlayStation Classic, that would really stink, because you know what? I pre-ordered the PlayStation Classic. And to be honest, if they released or revealed an N64 Mini and it was coming out around that time, I'm pre-ordering that and canceling the PlayStation Classic. I never had an N64. I was always a PlayStation kid, so this would be something that I would really love to get my hands on, because I've never played it, and it's arguably the best console of all time. So Sony, in my opinion, really needs to be a little nervous right now, because with the N64 Mini possibly coming out, man, they could really lose some sales. Now, if it doesn't come out this year, and if they wait till next year, it won't really hurt the PlayStation Classic all that much. Because whoever wants it, I believe, will get it now. They'll get it right now. And then whatever happens after that happens after that. You know? So if the N64 Mini comes out right now, that would hurt them. But if they wait till next year, in my opinion, I really don't think it'll hurt the PlayStation Classic much at all. I'm really curious right now as to what games they're going to put on the PlayStation Classic. We have no idea. I haven't heard anything. I've only heard of 5 games, and one game excites me on that list. It's Ridge Racer Type 4. I played that game a ton when I was a kid. I didn't play any of the other games, though. I mean, I've played Tekken, so Tekken 3, that will be on there. Final Fantasy, that will be on there. So I'll most likely play those games. But I'm really excited for Ridge Racer Type 4, and I never would have thought as a kid that I would be excited about it as an adult, but I am. So I played that a lot as a kid. But I really wonder what other games they're releasing for the PlayStation Classic. I really want to know. Tony Hawk Pro Skater is a game that I played the heck of as a kid, and I would love it. I would love to play it again on the PlayStation Classic. Love to. Now, these other 2 games, highly unlikely that they will be released on the PlayStation Classic. Spyro and Crash Bandicoot. They're to PlayStation what Mario is to Nintendo. That's my opinion. When it comes to iconic figures from years ago for gaming, Crash and Spyro are to PlayStation what Mario is to Nintendo. And if you're coming out with a PlayStation Classic, you really should at least release the first 2 games of each franchise. At least. I realize the 2 remaster titles have come out or are on their way out. Spyro, that comes out next month. I own Crash Bandicoot. It's a beautiful game. I love it. Spyro, I'm excited to get my hands on that. Hopefully Santa Claus will be very nice to me this year. But I really hope that on the PlayStation Classic we at least see the first 2 games. Now, after that, when it comes to the PlayStation 1, I played a bunch of sports games. That's actually about it. All I really played was sports games on the PlayStation. You know, Sammy Sosa High Heat Baseball 2001. Fantastic game. Man, I would love it. Highly unlikely. There's probably a 0.01% chance of that game being released on the PlayStation Classic. But if they did, I would be elated. Incredibly happy that I could play Sammy Sosa High Heat Baseball 2001 once again. Granted, I have the old PlayStation. It's sitting in my desk right now. I have it, and I have all my games. So why don't I just play it now? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. Why the heck, if we have these consoles, why are we buying them? And if we don't like what they're doing with bringing out these classic consoles, because in a way it is hurting backwards compatibility, why are we buying them? That is a question that we have to ask ourselves. Obviously, it's a question I have to ask myself. Well, guys, that about wraps this up here. I thank you all for watching. Please hit that like button, comment if you haven't already. Please subscribe for more. If you watched this far, thank you. If you guys can, please check out my Patreon down in the description. And follow me on Twitter. The links to those will be down in the description below. Let me know what other topics you want me to talk about in the future. I would love to hear your thoughts about that as well. Maybe have a guest on here. One of my subscribers. Maybe, who knows? Alright, guys. I thank you all for watching. Fallout 76 is coming. Coming really soon. Less than a month now. I can't wait. Alright, guys. I thank you all for watching. Godspeed.